Season began this past weekend as ISMA and MSS are together here for 2023. They were down in Jennerstown, Pennsylvania for a 50-lapper on Saturday that ended up running into the wee hours of the morning as a day-long rain almost put the kibosh on things, but they were able to get things in. Mark Sammut in the end was the winner. I understand he was actually fell back there a little bit all the way to 8th place from 4th, but was able to work his way back up. We'll find out now as we chat with him. First of all, Mark, congratulations. 8th ISMA win, 10th wing Supermodified win. How we doing, sir?
Good. How you doing?
Doing very well. So this must have been a long day, huh?
It sure was. I mean, they were supposed to let us in a little bit early because it was the first race of the year and give the wing cars a little more time to run to get things sorted out. But as it turned out, the weather didn't allow that, so it was quite a late start, but they got it in, and it was a lot better than coming back on Sunday.
And with the rain, and this is something I learned recently a while back, it's pretty much a green racetrack, so how did you know what to do, and how did everybody know what to do as far as setups were concerned, because all the rubber was gone, right?
Yeah, I don't know if anybody had a magic secret or anything, but I mean, the cars that are always fast were fast, and we'd made quite a few changes to our car over the winter, so we messed with it a little bit to get it closer. But no, once the feature came around, it was pretty decent. So,
what is the general train of thought when you do run right after the rain like that? Is there something particular you do setup wise?
Myself, I don't. I mean, normally the track isn't quite as sticky, so I mean, myself, I tighten the car up slightly more than I normally would because, I mean, normally our car loses traction at the rear before it does at the front. But that's, that's fairly typical of the Supermodified because of all the horsepower they have. And
do we also get a little more concerned about tire wear?
No, not necessarily. I mean, a track like Jennerstown is hard on tires at any time.
Actually, it is.
Running there in the spring was actually a little harder or a little easier on the tires than it normally is when we run there in the middle of the summer, because the temperatures weren't as high to start with. So I think the tires actually made out better this weekend than they normally do.
Yeah, because I heard it was actually cold on Saturday night down there.
By the time we got going, it had cooled right off for sure.
Okay. Fell back, started 4th, fell back to 8th, but you told me somebody else was tearing it up pretty early.
Yeah, Mike Lichty was really going, and he probably would have ran away with it if the engine didn't let go on him, but unfortunately that does happen sometimes. So anyhow, that kind of made it anybody's race. And then the 61, it was also lightning fast. He had a problem in the heat race, so he had to start last. And after Lichty was out of the equation, he was the leader, and he was going real well too. And then he had a problem at the end with an oil leak, and ended up he had to pull in as well.
Wow, so you were really fortunate to be the guy in front at the end there, weren't you?
Exactly. We've been kind of clawing our way back up through as the race wore on, and we got lucky. We were in the right place at the right time on some restarts, and there was a couple guys, got together a couple times coming off turn 4, and lucky we didn't get involved in any of that. We managed to get through, and it was one of those races that between the yellows and track position worked in our favor for a change instead of against us.
So what happened to make you fall back initially?
Well, to be honest, the car just wasn't all that good at the start of the race. I mean, the fast cars were really going, and we were off just a little bit, and I would say our car started to go away a little bit before everybody else's did. But it kind of, once it went away, it kind of stayed at that point, which from what I saw everybody else's, once they started to go bad, they kept getting worse as the race went on.
So you really didn't get better? You almost maintained from that early part of the race?
I would have to say that would be closer than getting better.
Okay, so how did we actually get the lead? Who did we pass? How did we get the lead?
Well, actually, I guess we ended up past Vic Miller's 11 with Ben Sykes driving it. I got a run on him on a restart, but I think I actually passed him in turn 2 on the restart, and then be a lap or so after that when the 61 pulled in, and then there was a red to clean the mess up. So after the green came back out, we were the leaders.
What's that like after a red like that when you know there's fluid on the track? Were you driving through speedy dry or?
No, it wasn't actually. Most of it was to the inside, so it wasn't actually as bad as it is sometimes. No, but you're right. Sometimes, depending on where it happened, it can be a little unnerving, and nobody knows what they're going to have when the green comes out. But as it turned out, it was pretty good. Yeah,
especially as the leader, because if you're like 5th or something, you can kind of watch them a little bit and kind of take it easy. But the leader, you really can't, can you?
Oh, no question, especially when, Ben Sykes was still behind me and Kyle Edwards was behind him, both really fast cars, great drivers, so I couldn't afford to wait to see what happened or anything like that. So,
how many laps were left to go at that point after the red?
I believe it was 6 or 7. I think it was on lap 44, the red, but I could be wrong.
All right. Now, did you see either of them in the last 6 laps then, or no?
No, our car actually, it was as good as it had been after the restart. The tires cooled off some, and away it went. I guess I had a little bit of a lead by the end, but still, I mean, like I said, they're both got really fast cars, and they're great drivers, so you certainly want to be aware they could pounce at any time. So.
And with only a half dozen laps left, you probably didn't have to run in any traffic either, did you?
No, that wasn't an issue.
All right. You remember the last lap?
Oh, yeah, just hoping it was over.
Okay, so nothing interesting. You didn't slide it or miss your mark?
Listening for every noise and everything that could go wrong, but as it turned out, everything worked out.
So what a great job. When we start out, we're the point leader heading into Oswego on June 3rd. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, well, for sure.
Tell me about Oswego a little bit. I've only seen the wing cars there a couple times myself. Help us out with a little preview of what to expect at Oswego on the 3rd.
Well, Oswego, I guess that's like the Indianapolis for Indy cars or the Daytona for stock cars. I mean, that's where everything happens at Oswego, and I mean, it's really fast with the wings on, and it'll be the same as Jennerstown was. All the fast cars will come to the top, so it's going to be a tough job to beat them.
Really, that's just the way the track races. Being up high is usually a better line to run.
Yeah. I mean, that's one thing about Oswego with the wing. You can run side by side, and so it's really fast. So I mean, you can pass in different places, but no, when the cars are hooked up, it is tough to get by. But
okay.
So, once the race goes on and the tires do wear, it gets a little more racy than it usually is at the start.
Okay. You told me also that you have 10 winged races that you've won. Are any of those at Oswego?
Yeah, just one.
Just one. Okay.
We actually 2015 won the Jack Murphy Memorial, so that's quite a while ago now too.
So we're looking forward to this one.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time, Mark. Before I let you go, is anybody you want to say thanks to?
Oh, I mean, there's a lot of people I want to say thank you. Certainly don't have time to thank them all, but I mean, first and foremost, I mean, my father's out here helping me every day. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it to Jennerstown. He had some health issues going on, so he stayed home. But, and then, I mean, I've had Art Curry Limited as a sponsor ever since we started racing Supermodifieds and Wells Foundry and Mobile Sweeping and Striping. So they're the biggest three sponsors by far. And all the guys that come and help us, if it wasn't for all of them, we wouldn't be able to do it. So.
I know you're real busy up there in Canada, so I really appreciate you calling me back here on Monday. A little after 9 o'clock is when we did this. You guys are getting it just a little bit after we got this done. Mark, good luck, and I hope to see you. Are you going to be up for a Fast Friday maybe before the race?
Oh, I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. There's a lot of things going on up here north of the border, and we got a lot of work to do, so we'll have to see.
All right, well, maybe I'll see you before that. So, again, thanks for your time, man. Good job.
Thank you.
Canadian Mark Sammut wins the opener for ISMA MSS. Now you guys know how he did it.